Hello friends, I am from Helping Hand MBBS and today we are going to study about facial nerve. Facial nerve, as you all know, is cranial nerve 7 and it is one of the most important nerve of our head and neck region. So what are our objectives to study the facial nerve? First we will see the course of facial nerve. Then we will orient ourselves by visualizing it on skull, that how it passes through various foramens and what is its actual course. And then we will study clinical anatomy. The clinical anatomy will be in part 2 of this video, so kindly watch that to study the clinical anatomy. So let's start with facial nerve. So before begin with course, we should know the neural columns of facial nerve so that we can understand why are we studying the course of it and what are the function of various branches. So first of all, the first neural column is SVE, and as I already have uploaded the video on neural columns, you can see that SVE stands for motor supply of facial muscles, not facial nerve, facial muscles. Motor supply to facial muscles because it is pharyngeal arch muscle, second pharyngeal arch. So we apply special here. So SVE, that is motor supply to facial muscles, and then GVE, it supplies glands, various glands like lacrimal gland, palatine gland, sublingual gland, submandibular gland. We will see all these branches. While studying the course. And last, this is SVA, special visceral afferent. It carries the taste from anterior 2/3 of tongue, not saliva, sorry, tongue. Carries taste from anterior 2/3 of the tongue. So this is the basic knowledge you should know before seeing the course. So let us begin with the course. So you can see that this is a schematic diagram how facial nerve passes through various foramens and what are its branches. So let us study. So you can see that this is whole facial nerve and it comprises 3 branches from different region of pons. So we will see that you can see that this is superior salivatory nucleus and it is giving one branch which is entering the facial nerve. You can also see that there is a motor nucleus of facial nerve and giving branch which is also entering in facial nerve. And here you can see that there is a nucleus tractus solitarius, this is NTS. It is also giving a branch which is entering in the facial nerve. So facial nerve comprises of these 3 branches from various nucleus, that is motor nucleus of facial nerve, superior salivatory nucleus and the nucleus tractus solitarius. What you need to know here is that nucleus tractus solitarius is responsible for taste sensation. So whichever branch from here, from the anterior 2/3 of tongue, will give fiber to this NTS. And what you need to know for superior salivatory nucleus is that it is responsible for the parasympathetic supply of sublingual and submandibular gland. You should know this. So 3 fibers enter in the facial nerve, that is taste sensation fibers from this NTS, then parasympathetic fiber for the sublingual and submandibular gland from superior salivatory nucleus, and as we have studied that it also supply the facial muscle, so motor nucleus of 7th nerve also give the branches to this facial nerve. So we have studied the 3 parts. Now let us proceed further. So this is facial nerve. Facial nerve enters the skull and it enters one foramen called internal acoustic meatus. So it enters the internal acoustic meatus which is present on petrous temporal bone. We will see it clearly on the skull. So here you should know that it enters the internal acoustic meatus which will carry it to the posterior to the ear. So after it enters, it takes a turn and form a geniculate ganglion here. and forms one ganglion called as geniculate ganglion. So after entering into internal acoustic meatus, while passing it takes a turn and form a geniculate ganglion. By taking turn, it comes to the posterior wall of middle ear. There is middle ear and it has posterior wall. It enters the posterior wall of middle ear. Don't worry, we will see it on diagrams. So here you need to know that it enters the internal acoustic meatus, form geniculate ganglion, and enters the posterior wall of and runs in posterior wall of middle ear. In the posterior wall of middle ear, as you can see, this hole is in posterior wall of middle ear. It gives three branches. We will see these three branches. You can see here that greater petrosal nerve is the first branch. Nerve to stapedius is our second branch, and the chorda tympani is our third branch. So it gives three branches in posterior wall of middle ear, and then what happens that it continues further in the posterior wall and exit the skull from a stylomastoid foramen. It exits the skull by stylomastoid foramen and comes on the face. On the face, it enters here. There is a parotid gland. It enters the parotid gland, and it do not supply the parotid gland. This is very important, that it enters the parotid gland but it do not supplies the parotid gland. You all know that parotid gland is supplied by our ninth cranial nerve, that is glossopharyngeal nerve. After entering the face, it gives branches to the facial muscle, that is 5 branches on the face: temporal, zygomatic, buccal, mandibular and cervical. You need to mug up these all 5 branches, and it is very easy when we see the diagram to learn these 5 branches. And also give branch to the digastric, stylohyoid and the posterior auricular branch. So these are the branch on face. So let us study what happens to the chorda tympani, which is the third branch while running in the posterior wall of middle ear. So you can see that chorda tympani here. Chorda tympani proceed further and is joined by the lingual nerve. You know that lingual nerve is a branch of trigeminal nerve. It joins the trilingual nerve and runs forward to supply two things. It carries the taste fibers and the parasympathetic supply to submandibular and sublingual gland. You can remember that these fibers come from superior salivatory nucleus, which enters the facial nerve here. Here you can see this, and the taste fibers, which are carried by this chorda tympani and is finally ended into the nucleus tractus solitarius. So you now know that what is the function of NTS and superior salivatory nucleus, and also the motor nucleus, which is supplying these 5 branches of the facial nerve. So this is the general schematic diagram. We have seen all the branches of facial nerve and its course. Now we will study it on the skull by seeing diagrams. Before it, let us see this diagram also. It is very good diagram to see how the superior salivatory nucleus is supplying these glands. So the parasympathetic fibers from superior salivatory nucleus enter this facial nerve. Let me change the color. Enter this facial nerve, and it gives a branch to this greater petrosal and this chorda tympani. Via chorda tympani, it joins lingual nerve, as I have told you earlier. It joins lingual nerve and supply the two glands, sublingual and the submandibular gland, via submandibular ganglion. It relays in submandibular ganglion and supply the sublingual gland and the submandibular gland. And here from greater petrosal nerve, it enters into pterygopalatine ganglion and supply the lacrimal gland, and here you can see these fibers to the palatine glands. So these are palatine glands. So which 4 glands do you study here? It supply the lacrimal, supply palatine, supply sublingual, submandibular. So these 4 glands are supplied by it, and we can see here very clearly superior salivatory nucleus, parasympathetic fibers, and This is what we called the general visceral efferent. This is the general visceral efferent column of facial nerve. So I think you're clear with the course and the how it supplies the various glands. So let us study further. This is the cross section of the pons, and here you can see how the facial nerve it exits the pons. So this is the nucleus of abducent nerve and this is the nucleus of facial nerve. Facial nerve coils around this abducent nerve nucleus and enters the pons anteriorly. So this is how the motor nucleus, as I've shown you in schematic diagram, that motor nucleus give branches. So this is the branch which motor nucleus gives. So let us study further. Here we can see that this is the view from the upper part of the skull. If I remove the skull cap and see inside and remove the brain also, you can see here that this is our pons part. This is our pons part, and it gives a branch called facial nerve, which like this goes to this foramen. This is petrous temporal bone. This is petrous temporal bone, and it has internal acoustic meatus, and it gives the branches to this internal acoustic meatus. It runs inside the internal acoustic meatus, so it enters like this. Now let us see further. This is very good diagram to understand the various things. This is our pons part. It gives the facial nerve. Facial nerve like this enters into this internal acoustic meatus. This is petrous temporal bone part. I hope you can visualize it. This is petrous temporal bone part, and this is internal acoustic meatus. So in internal acoustic meatus, it forms this geniculate ganglion, and after forming geniculate ganglion, it gives 3 branches in posterior wall of middle ear. So what are the 3 branches we can see here? The first branch is this greater petrosal nerve, second branch is this nerve to stapedius, and the third branch is this chorda tympani. So you can see here, first that is greater petrosal, second nerve to stapedius, and the third that is chorda tympani. These are the third, and it itself then continues and exits the skull from this foramen here called stylomastoid foramen. It exits and then it runs into the parotid gland and gives the various branches. So this is in short how it is located in the posterior wall of middle ear. So this is our foramen lacerum, and it greater petrosal nerve along with the deep petrosal nerve form nerve of Vidian nerve and enters the pterygopalatine ganglion, and in pterygopalatine ganglion then it supplies lacrimal gland, nasal mucosal gland, and the palatine gland, etc. So this is, and we have also studied that chorda tympani join the lingual nerve and then relay in submandibular ganglion to supply the submandibular and the sublingual gland. It is again the repetition, and the one branch of chorda tympani supplies carry the fiber of anterior 2/3 of tongue. We have studied this also. So can you guess what will be the neural column for this anterior 2/3 of tongue taste supply? So it is very easy. First it will be afferent, it will not be efferent, and because the taste sensation is special sensation, so there will be S and there will be V, because tongue has smooth muscle. So special visceral afferent. So this is all about the course, and let us visualize it better. So this diagram I have taken from the letters, and first I will orient you to this diagram. This is our tympanic membrane. Visualize it like we are seeing the tympanic membrane from the inner side of ear by sitting in middle ear cavity. I am sitting in middle ear cavity and I am seeing towards the tympanic nerve. So you can see here the tympanic nerve, tympanic membrane. What is this? This is eustachian tube, which is in anterior wall. Will be anterior wall, this will be posterior wall, and we are sitting in middle ear and seeing the tympanic membrane. And outside the tympanic membrane, what will be the, just behind this tympanic membrane, there will be the external auditory meatus. So okay, so according to this diagram, we are sitting in middle ear cavity. So you can see the posterior wall of middle ear cavity. This is posterior wall of middle ear cavity, and here you can see that this is facial nerve. This yellow nerve is our facial nerve. It is running in posterior wall of middle ear cavity, and I already told you that it gives 3 branches in posterior wall of middle ear. We will see it again. So you can see clearly here that this branch which it gives is like this, going like this, is chorda tympani, and you know the fate of chorda tympani. This branch which is giving here is stapedial branch. This is stapedial branch. Very easy to see here that it will go to the stapedius muscle. And there is one more branch called greater petrosal nerve, which is not seen here, but it is also given in the posterior wall, and it joins the deep petrosal nerve and enters the pterioperitine ganglion. So this is the general overview of how it gives the muscles, it gives the nerve supply in the posterior wall of middle ear. Let us progress further. So this is our final diagram, and now we have supplied the various submandibular gland, sublingual gland, lacrimal gland, and the nasal gland and the palatine gland. We have supplied all of these in the previous diagrams. So what you are thinking is how it is supplying the facial muscle. We have not studied it yet. So you know that there is stylomastoid foramen here, and the facial nerve exits the stylomastoid foramen to enter the face. And then I have told you already that it enters the parotid gland. So this is how it enters the parotid gland. In parotid gland, it divides into 2 branches, and which further give 5 branches. So the facial nerve in parotid gland divided into 2 branches. This is facial nerve. It gives 2 branches in parotid, and which further give 5 branches to supply the facial muscles. This diagram will help us understand it completely, that this facial nerve proper. Facial nerve enters the parotid gland. It divides into 2 parts, which is temporofacial division and the cervicofacial division. Okay? Then it will give 5 more branches, that is temporal branch, which will supply this temporal part. Then zygomatic branch, which will supply this zygomatic part. Then buccal branch, which will supply this buccal part. Then marginal mandibular, which will supply the margin of mandible, that is this part. And the cervical branch, that will supply our cervical part. So it is very easy to remember the 5 branches, that if we come from above downward on the face, what will be the regions? Temporal region, then zygomatic region, then buccal region, then margin of mandible, and then in last cervical branch. So this is how we have studied all the, let me take you again to the neural columns. So we have studied the motor supply of facial nerve, that in last it exits the stylomastoid foramen to enters the parotid gland and supply the various facial muscle by 5 branches. Then general visceral efferent, by it supplies the glands like lacrimal gland, palatine gland, sublingual gland, submandibular gland by superior salivatory nucleus. It enters into chorda tympani and supplies sublingual, submandibular, and it greater petrosal nerve, it supplies lacrimal gland and nasal and palatine gland. Then taste, we have seen that chorda tympani carries the taste sensation from the anterior 2/3 of tongue. We have studied all 3 neural columns, and this is all about, friends, what we have to know about facial nerve, and the clinical anatomy will be in part 2 of this video, so please watch that video. Thank you for watching this, and please subscribe